What's that sound? It's For Amusement Only, the EM and Bingo Pinball Podcast. Welcome back to For Amusement Only. This is Nick Baldridge. Tonight I wanted to continue in my little mini-series on Gottlieb payout games. Yesterday I talked about their first payout game, which was purely mechanical. Tonight's venture is their second payout game, which is an EM. This came out in February of 1935, and all the information that I have on this game is actually taken from IPDB. This game is played with 2 balls, typically, although apparently it can be adjustable up to 3. But there are 2 separate playfields, an upper playfield and a lower playfield. And when I say upper playfield, I don't mean elevated, like on Black Knight. I mean a separate area up above the lower playfield, to the north of. Maybe. So, the way it worked is you would shoot a ball, and it would loop around this upper playfield area, which was circular. There are multiple holes arranged. 9 of them, in fact. And if you landed in one of the holes, it would open up a gate to the lower playfield. You shoot your second ball, and if it lands in the same number as the one on the upper playfield, then you get a payout. Now here's what you get. If you get matching 200-point scores, you get 2 coins. 400 points gives you 4 coins. 600, 6, 808, 1,000, 10, and so forth, up to 2,000, which gives you 20 coins, which is pretty awesome. Now, apparently, Gottlieb recommended a couple different ways that you could tweak the game to make it easier on players. The first is including an extra ball, which basically just gives you 1 extra chance on the lower playfield to land in the appropriate hole. The second is to adjust the springs on the sides of each pocket to allow the ball to enter more easily. Now, the payout unit on this game, instead of just being right out in the open where you just take the money, like on the previous attempt that Gottlieb made, this actually had a payout drawer, and the drawer could be locked to prevent people from opening it and taking the money, if you didn't want them to. Otherwise, you just swing it out, and you have access to the money in a nice little cup. And you swing it back when you're done, so that next time you win, you get money. It doesn't just pour right on the floor. Now, I have no pictures of the units inside, so I am curious as to how the payout actually functions. But this sounds like a pretty cool game. The fact that there are 2 separate playfields and you have to match exactly what you've done on the upper playfield is pretty cool, I think. Now, this game, as I mentioned, was an EM. And the electromechanical portion is the payout unit, and how it tied via the switches in each of the numbered holes. So this game operated on batteries. As I've mentioned before, on these early games, rather than plug into outlet power, they just used dry cell batteries. Now, the problem with dry cell batteries is that they are big and heavy. Of course, this prevents you from easily lifting the machine up and cheating. And on that note, the flyer is quick to mention that this game comes on sturdy legs. Prior games were mostly countertop affairs that you'd sit on a counter. Now, on IPDB, there is a billboard ad that advertises 3 different games that Gottlieb has out at this time. Match Play cost $87.50. The playfield itself apparently came in 2 different finishes: Chinese red or ebony black bakelite. Now I'm curious if the playfield is actually made of bakelite. That would be really pretty interesting, I think, from a maintenance perspective. Now I should note that the playfield design on the lower playfield is slightly different than on the upper playfield. On the upper playfield, you have these holes which are flanked by springs on either side, which are arranged in a circular pattern. 4 on the left semicircle, 4 on the right semicircle, and 1 in the center, for a total of 9. On the bottom playfield, you have actually 11 holes. Now your guess is as good as mine as to what the extra holes do. I'm guessing they just eat your ball, and there's no special function that these holes have. Unfortunately, there are no pictures of this game on IPDB. There's only a couple of ads, which give you a black and white photo or drawing of these games. The sturdy legs that they mention are these really beautiful tapered legs with a stair-step style top. Very, very attractive. And the sides of this cabinet, instead of having just a simple shape carved in or embossed on it, or however you want to say it, is actually painted. And there are stripes which go alternating white and black all the way up from the bottom left of the cab, across the top, and then back down to the bottom right. The flyer mentions that this game can take in between $200 and $300 per week, which, when you look at the initial investment of less than $100, that's pretty good. Well, that's all for tonight. Thank you very much for joining me. My name again is Nick Baldridge. You can reach me at foramusementonlypodcast@gmail.com, or you can call me on the Bingos line at 724-BINGOS1, 724-246-4671. You can listen to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Pocket Casts, via RSS, on Facebook, on Twitter at Bingo Podcast. You can follow me on Instagram, also at Bingo Podcast, or you can listen to us on our website, which is foramusementonly.libsyn.com. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll talk to you next time.